Hello homemade chefs, this is Anna and today I'm just going to shoot a really quick video to show you my personal groceries for a week. And before I get started, I want to stress that I have not planned this, I have not done a special shopping because I was going to make this video. So this is just actually what I happen to buy, and it does vary a lot each week depending on what is in season and what I already have at home, but this will give you some idea of what I buy for groceries in 1 week. So in here we have some kale. I use this in my cooking or also in smoothies or a lot raw in salads. And then in here we have some Lebanese cucumbers, which I really like to chop and add to salads. They've got a really delicious thin skin and they taste really great in salads, and of course I use them in smoothies. They're very alkalizing and really good for you. I have some zucchini, which I would cook normally, or often I also eat it raw. And then I have a bunch of fresh mint, which just goes really well in smoothies, salads, and I also love the freshness of a glass of cold water with just some berries thrown in there, frozen or fresh berries, some ice, a squeeze of lemon juice, and some fresh mint. And these strawberries, I got 2 batches because they were 50 cents each on special, so I would probably freeze one of them, take the greens off and then throw them into smoothies. And I would also use them with my breakfast and just smoothies in general. Love lots of berries. And it is summer, so more berries. I've got some blueberries and raspberries here, which I will use with breakfast cereals, snacks, yogurt and berries, and smoothies. I love my berry smoothies. Berries are of course very, very high in antioxidants and low in calories and high in fiber, so extremely beneficial for your health and just so satisfying as a dessert. And then in this bag I've got a bunch of lemons and limes, and I will say this table is really wonky, so things may fly on the floor. I'll just ignore it and keep going if that happens, but I use these mainly for salad dressings. I just love tartness in my salad dressing, so I always buy lots and lots of fresh lemons and limes, and also in juices they go great if you just want to make your own juice at home with lots of water, a little bit of fruit blended up. Red bell pepper, very high in antioxidants. Love this fresh in salads, but also cooked in a variety of ways. And then just for some cooking, I've got some cooking onions and an avocado. That's a really good heart healthy snack, super satisfying to add to salads, to add to wraps, to just have with crackers. So really satisfying, and the fats in avocado are so good for your heart. And then some potatoes, which I would use for cooking, say a soup or as a side for a dinner. And that's one bag, so let's go to bag number 2. So big bunch here of fresh parsley, which I actually chop literally a cup of parsley in just a serving of salad for lunch. And that's one of the big lessons we teach in Life Changing Cooking, is you can probably use a lot more herbs in your cooking than you're used to, and they add so much flavor and they're so beneficial for your health. They're really, really high in antioxidants and very alkalizing, and I will often throw as well a lot of parsley into my smoothies, about a tablespoon of that. So I always have some parsley in a glass in the fridge with some water in it. And then some green onion, which I just eat generally raw in salads. And I have a cauliflower, which I will generally use in cauliflower and maybe potato soup on this occasion, but also sometimes you can bake it and do baked cauliflower. And then I'll move on to the next bag and come back, because that's my non-vegetables coming up. So here I have a bunch of carrots. This is always how I love to buy them, with the greens still on there, the freshest, the most beneficial for your health. And you always just test if they're not bendy, because that means that they're really fresh. So these look beautiful. And today I got some collard greens. These are one of the bitter greens. So the families of greens, they're really high in phytonutrients, really, really high in antioxidants, high in fiber, very, very good for your health to include as many of these bitter greens in your diet as you can. And collard greens, because they are bitter, you would generally saute them with a little bit of olive oil or some garlic, onion, and add them to some kind of dish. So they're ready to go there. And then I bought an corn cob, which we would probably throw on the grill one night when we do some steak or chicken on the grill. and that just goes great. You can add a little bit of butter and not much else, and it just comes out so fantastic. And then broccolini, this is just part of the cruciferous family of vegetables like broccoli. Really good for your health, just like the bitter greens, very high in phytonutrients. And I'll generally buy a bunch, and then this is a perfect vegetable to add to your pan after you've seared some meats. It soaks up all the juices, cooks in about 3 minutes, and it's a really easy, healthy dinner, very quickly prepared. And I wanted to show you guys how many bananas I normally buy in 1 week. This is very normal, very typical, because in the first week of life-changing cooking, people share their starting point groceries in a photograph, and often I will see people have, 2 or 3 bananas for the week, and I'm thinking that we would normally go through in about a day. So this is a very typical amount of bananas I would buy for 1 week, and it may not even last for 1 week. And as you know, I love bananas. They are so good for you. They're high in potassium. They're so satisfying. You do not need to worry about the carbs in bananas, because the carbs in bananas help register your satiety, and they're great frozen in smoothies. They're great in your morning breakfast with yogurt, and they're just a great portable snack on the go. So big fan of bananas, and that's for 2 of us plus a 1-year-old baby, how much bananas we get. Okay, back to this bag. So as you can see, a lot of fresh produce on the table, and I already have about half a fridge full of fruits and vegetables, which is why I didn't buy more. So this isn't even everything we would normally eat. This was based on knowing that I already had some things. And now I'll show you the non-fruit and vegetable things I bought. So here I've got some whole wheat tortillas. I would use these for wraps. I would use them to make homemade pizzas, just pop them in the oven and heat them, or add some olive oil and salt and serve it with the cauliflower soup. So that's one base. And then I purchased some almond milk, which we would use with the smoothies and the breakfast mueslis or oatmeal. So I'll pop that over here. And then we love these Bellwether Farms Sheik's Milk yogurts. I buy 3, 1 each for the week normally, and that's kind of like an after dinner dessert. This is vanilla flavor, and we all love them, so it's kind of 1 each. I'll pop those there. And then I have some few tomatoes in here that would just be eaten normally raw in salads or cooked. I also bought some smoked salmon, very high in beneficial omega-3 and 6 fatty acids, and I'd use this, eat it just raw on salads or in wraps, perhaps with the whole grain wraps. And normally I'd buy 2 of these per week, but I already have 1 open in the fridge. And normally I buy salmon steaks as well to cook during the week, normally simply seared on the stove. And then we have some portobello mushrooms I forgot to bring out earlier. Awesome cooked as a pasta. Love these, just with some blended up tomatoes, onion, garlic, fresh basil, and these are beautiful portobello mushrooms. So I'll take one out and show you. Absolutely beautiful, and the way you can tell they're fresh is that the gills in here are still open. So I've got 2 of those, and I'll just chop those up and throw them up to make a lovely, tasty homemade pasta. And I'll get this one out too. And then 2 boxes of Mary's crackers. If you haven't heard, I'm the biggest fan of these in the world. The ingredients are incredible. It's brown rice, it's quinoa, nothing bad added. They are so crunchy, they are so tasty. They're very good for those afternoon salty cravings, and really, really good for you. High in fiber, high in whole grains, good slow release carbohydrates. So we always try and stock these in the house, and we go through about 2 packets a week. So this table is getting very full and it's sloping towards me, so hopefully I don't lose stuff, but here we go. Okay. Then I bought some goat's cheese, and this is the sort of thing that I'll add that's very rich, it's high in fat, it's very satisfying. Good fats register the satiety of your body. So this is an example. It's a really nice quality goat's cheese, marinated, and this is the sort of thing that I'd add to a salad or to some roasted cauliflower to really make it satisfying and not feel like depriving or a diet. And we lost our salmon. Let me go and grab it. Okay, I'll pop this back somewhere where it doesn't fall down again. And And then I bought a bag of dates, and these are so fresh and incredible. I can't wait to use them. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that very well, but they are amazing quality, fresh medjool dates. And these are fantastic. You can add one to a smoothie. You can have one as an afternoon snack with some almond butter. So I love having medjool dates in the home. They are one of the greatest things to satisfy your sweet tooth anytime. And you just watch your intake of them, because they are high in calories. They do have sugar in them, but they're high in fiber and have lots of beneficial minerals in them and fiber, so they're really, really good for you. And finally, I never complete my weekly shop without a block of chocolate these days. I normally get something that's dark chocolate and sea salt. This week I bought this brand, but it always varies, and I'll generally just have 1 to 2 squares every day as my afternoon snack, sometimes with a medjool date, and that totally satisfies me because it's not about deprivation. So when you allow yourself to have anything and good quality food and eat for nourishment and satisfaction, you don't need a lot, and you don't need the junk stuff that doesn't nourish your body. So I'll pop that there. So there you have it. This is my week of groceries this week, and I will say, like I said earlier, I do have other things in the fridge that you don't see here. So for example, I would normally shop some salmon steaks, I would normally shop some chicken breast, perhaps some steaks or a pork chop, and that would then constitute the base of the meals, but I already have all of those in the freezer at the moment. So this was this week's shop. I hope this was interesting and informative, and I love to hear from you. So drop me a line, anna@homemade-cooking.com, and tell me what you thought of this video. Have a great day.